Right then, I think we will get started. Welcome everybody, and thank you for coming to our event, Writing for Rent. Today we have the pleasure to be hosting three authors. We have up on the big screen Terrence Greep. He is a journalist, he's also a writer. He's written the Scooby-Doo comic books. We also have, I suppose, coming towards me after Terrence, we have Michael Fido. There we go. Michael Fido. He is he's written pieces that's ended up in newspapers. He's written books about the lynchings in Duluth, and has a fantastic book called Adventures of the Middlest Author, which has tons of great advice for aspiring and hoping to be professional writers. And then finally at this end we have Roy C. Booth, playwright, genre jumper of many different short stories and other novels around the literature sphere. But we're very thankful for these three to make time out of their schedule to come speak with us.
I think you have to begin with the notion that you are a writer, whether you've published or not. When I used to teach some writing courses at the Loft in Minneapolis, I would ask the students to rank their life roles. Most of my students then were women, and so they might put wife and mother first, and then friend, and writer would be about sixth. And I would always say, you have to flip that. If you're going to write, writing has to be right at the top of those priorities. And throughout my career, I was an academic, and I taught at colleges for 32 years. And I wasn't a college professor who happened to write. I was a writer who happened to teach. And I think that distinction kept me going, because it's so easy to get discouraged when you get rejection after rejection. And I was just telling Mackenzie that I had recently read that Marlon James, who won a Booker Prize for fiction a couple of years ago, got 178 rejections first. So ponder that.
How do you actually manage to keep yourself pushing out pieces that you can market to different sources, or in any way, or in a different way? How can you overcome writer's block when you need to buy groceries?
Oh, I cheat. I take my bills and I put them right on the side of the monitor. And I go, okay, I better do something here, or this does not get paid. And I think the main thing is, especially when writing for, creative fiction or something, you've got to think of this as a business. You are writing for an industry. You are writing not only for an audience in a particular genre or medium, you're also writing for an editor who will buy that. Okay, that's where the networking comes in so important. You've got to know who you're selling this to, not just the publisher, but the actual person who's going to, give you the contract, sign the checks, and whatnot. I think for a beginning author, that is crucial, because most people, they go, where do I go from here? Where do I go? You go out and you meet people. You find who's who and what, whatever medium or genre you're writing for, and you make connections. And I think the greatest pitfall is a lot of people, they're afraid, they write it, they put it out there, and they go, now what? They don't know where to take that next step.
As you all have experience making pitches to publishers and sending out work in hopes of getting it printed and then paid for that, for Terrence, what do you think the key components about just making a solid pitch and getting them into you as a writer and paying you and getting money in your pocket for the words you write are?
Well, I was told once by an artist, a local artist named Peter Krause, who said, make it so good they can't say no. There's a lot of truth to that. That's easy to say. How do you do that, of course, is the issue. As Michael was just saying, it's so important to understand your market. And I think many young writers, I was certainly guilty of this, forget that aspect of it. You're a sales representative for your own work. And most people tend to think, oh, I'll just write something brilliant and I'll beat down my door to come for the privilege of publishing it. The inverse is much closer to the truth.
Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. We appreciate you all. But have a good night, safe travels home, wherever you're going.